17. I'm standing on the L train and a young father steps in behind me. He is holding the hand of a young, extremely hyperactive small white girl. She must be about 5. She's excitedly showing the nearest older lady stranger a coin in her tiny open palm. She explains to the stranger, "I have this special coin. It's real money. I have a lot of real money at my house." The older woman laughs and indulges her by making statements like, "Oh wow, that's a quarter," and asking questions like, "What are you going to do with it? Are you going to spend it?" When the little girl loses interest in the quarter, she takes to lying her head on the older woman's leg. Her dark amber tendrils of thin hair spread out in all directions on the woman's crisp white pants. The little girl's father pleads with her. "Enough, get up," he says. To which she responds with maniacal laughter. The older woman says aside to her husband, "I wish I was like that. I envy the little girl too." I try my best to close my eyes and shake the image of her grown-up self. But she reminds me so much of the pristine, drunk white girls from Midtown Manhattan who unapologetically and confidently take up all the space on a subway car, even at the expense of strangers. She looks so much like the girls in middle school and high school I wanted to befriend, and the hopes that I feel as confident and entitled to so much of the world too. The little girl throws herself upward from the lap of the older woman. She sways and staggers, pushing a silky mess of dark, shiny amber out of her eyes and mouth. She locks eyes at another young girl who stands quietly across the car with her family, occasionally poking the face of her younger brother, whose cheek is resting on the shoulder of the father who holds him. She's a young girl of color, possibly South Asian, a little older than the other immensely energetic and extroverted white girl. The younger girl grabs onto the same silver pole the older girl is holding with both hands. I watch their exchange but can't really make out everything being said. I see the look of the uneasiness on the older girl's face. She's visibly overwhelmed by the younger girl's bold demeanor and fast speaking at full volume. She looks at the younger girl as if she has 5 heads, in between occasionally rolling her eyes and glancing at her family for backup. The younger girl, oblivious to the older girl's trepidation, rattles on about how she's on her way to see the fireworks with her mom and dad in Queens. At the next stop, the younger girl's father taps her and grabs her hand and leads her off. Leads her off the train alongside a large group of people, most of whom are dressed to the nines in red, white, and blue. After the door closes, I hear the older girl, exasperated as if exhausted by the recent interaction, say to her parents, "I told her my name was Shashi 3 times, but she wouldn't listen." Without thinking, I almost say something along the lines of, "Strap in, Shashi," or "It only continues from here." I wouldn't encroach on her innocence like that. It's cynical, I know, to compare the magnitude of adult white people speaking like incessant tidal waves over the women of color to this exchange, and I'm happy for the young white girl. I hope she doesn't lose her vibrancy and confidence the way I did as I got older and more aware of my identity. I wonder if there's statistics somewhere. Statistics of young girls of color who are confident enough in their whole being that they allow themselves to move through life loudly and largely, even when everyone is watching. And I wonder how these numbers would compare to those of the young white girls that do so. I kind of want to hug Shashi, even though I'm sure she doesn't feel like she needs one. I miss feeling that way too.